Oh, hi! My name is Kathy Cho, and this is the Chronicle of my life. Depicted in a drawing! In really crappy recording fashion. Low budget, what can I say? I miraculously emerged from my solitary confinement on July 23, 1985, wearing garments made from the sun's rays while holding a magic scepter and sporting winged gladiator shoes. My birth was so epic that the Cosmic Council in outer space decided to give me 2 zodiac signs instead of 1. Epic battle! At least that's how I remember it. The reality is, no one really remembers my birth all that much because, well, no one was there. I was the 3rd daughter born to a traditional Korean family, and the last chance for my dad to pass along his family name. So no one came to see me. For the first 6 months of my existence, my grandma single-handedly raised me in a small town in Seoul, South Korea. Aside from immediate family, no one knew I existed until my 7th month. That's when my parents brought me back home and reunited me with my 2 older sisters. Growing up as a baby, my playpen was a red tub, which is also where kimchi, that spicy red cabbage, is made. My middle sister was a cute one. People would just give her free stuff. She'd come home and my mom would be like, "Where'd you get that ice cream, really?" So my middle sister used to take me out for joyrides. My older sister, she, for some reason, was convinced she was the Incredible Hulk, which was kind of weirdly awesome. So during that time, my parents were making arrangements for us to come to America. On March 2nd, 1987, we put on our capes and flew to the land of opportunities. For 3 years, my entire family and I lived on an army base until we found a home to call our own in a small town named after a sweetened flour made from ground-dried corn. This is where the memories were made. I grew up with a lot of cousins, but my cousin Christine was and still is my favorite. Yes, I'm playing favorites. And yes, I had really ugly hair. I used to bite her, pull her hair, pinch her, push her down the stairs once or twice. I don't know why I did that, but she always forgave me and never made me feel bad. She's the best friend that anyone could ever have. In elementary school, my mom always styled my hair really ugly. It was either really short, like a bowl cut, or a poofy, curly afro. Anytime I was upset, I allegedly used to bang my head on hard surfaces, mainly the hardwood floor. Yeah, I was really weird. I was a math wizard in school because my mom enrolled me in Kumon. My sisters and I also went to Korean school. The teacher was so scary. We took piano lessons, which I hated, but I actually wish I learned to play because piano playing is so sexy. All I wanted to do was ride my sister's rollerblades around the block and pretend I was Christy Yamaguchi. The nickname I had growing up was Gangpe, which translates to bully or thug, depending on your translation source, which is kind of ironic because I was actually a huge nerd growing up. My mom always dressed me in the ugliest Christmas sweaters, and then my vision went to shit, so I wore these gnarly pink-rimmed glasses, and my teeth were jacked up. So in middle school, something compelled me to run for 8th grade vice president. But I was no match for my running mate. She was super popular and had a cult-like following. I remember the day they announced the winners. I was pulling down my campaign posters just as the last class was ending. Kids flooded into the halls and shouted, "Loser!" with their fingers in that classic L shape over their foreheads. How rude. High school was when people got a little nicer. My first day of school, I had my sister walk me to every one of my classes because I was a pansy. I remember feeling so cool because I knew the upperclassmen through my sisters. And you know I never missed a beat to embarrass them. Because I'm a jerk. I ran for sophomore vice president, and this time I won. Hooray! I had such a good time building our homecoming float, putting together events, and making new friends. At some point, I lost the glasses and got contacts, which was a life changer. Then, I got heavily involved in the performing arts and became a theater geek. That's me somewhere in the background. I was always a B student throughout high school. My mom constantly reminded me of how much better other kids were doing. She developed this competitive spirit in me, which had its ups and downs. I mean, I wanted to try harder and be a better student. But I definitely grew up feeling like I would never be good enough. High school was also the first time I noticed that boys were noticing me. How you doing? I ended up dating a guy all throughout high school, but by senior year it had run its course and we broke up just before heading off to college. College! I went to a commuter school where I didn't know anyone and I had to start from scratch. I moved into the dorms by winter and met my first friend and roommate, April. That's April with an E. My first night, she grilled me with roommate interview questions. True story. We had such great times making music videos, going to gay clubs, terrorizing the dorms, and studying, of course. While taking an Asian American Studies class, I met a guy who always asked me for my notes and insisted on sitting next to me every day. We ended up dating for nearly 4 years, all throughout college. But life works in very mysterious ways and things just didn't work out. We went our separate ways a year after I graduated and I moved away. So I interned at a local TV station during college, but that was really the last time I did anything related to my major professionally. I worked at a small company doing project management and marketing and made some good money, but the work was tedious. Then I worked in radio sales and made little to no money but met tons of people, but I wasn't excited about it and I didn't really see a future. During that time though, I lived with a girl who had the same name as me. It was awesome. I still get some of her mail to this day because we confuse the crap out of everybody. She taught me how to embrace my culture, which brought me closer to my parents, and be even more spontaneous. She eventually had to move away for law school, and that made me really sad. Damn you, St. Louis! I started a new job out in the middle of nowhere and decided to move closer to work and live by myself. So the loneliness started to get kinda gnarly, and I ended up getting a chinchilla and named her Ninja. She loved climbing on me and using me as leverage to jump over the barricade I made to run around my apartment and chew up my cables and walls. Booze also became my best friend. I'd wake up on Sunday with a crappy hangover and a promise to never drink again, which only really lasted to the next weekend. I realized I needed a change. That was a year of really big decisions. I ended up finding a flexible job that let me work from home while I figured out what I wanted to do. Which brings me here. I may not know what crazy shenanigans are ahead of me, but what I do know is this: I'm actually pretty happy. I'm thankful for the opportunities I've had and continue to have. I've learned that making decisions for myself is essential, but also the opinions of loved ones should not be ignored. I may not be a doctor or a lawyer like my parents wanted, and still want me to be, but what I can always do is make them laugh and feel loved. And this is my life. And I love making tons of lemonade. Thanks so much for watching, and thank you to YouTube for inspiring me to draw my life. Please like and subscribe for even more Willy Wonky videos coming soon. Bye bye.